Hello and welcome to this Catholic Truth Society webcast. I'd like to introduce you today to some of the features included in the new Roman Missal that will be published by the CTS later on in the year. What we have here is a prototype which has been printed with the new text and bound to the specification that will be available to you in the autumn. The first thing I'd like to speak about is the binding itself. You'll notice that the book is bound in genuine leather and has quite a particular spine, including these hubs which you can see here. Now these have the effect of strengthening the spine, ensuring that it remains rounded and that it pushes up the book block when it's open, which will make sure that the pages remain open well while you're reading from it on the altar, which I think is extremely useful. You'll see what we've done is we have decorated it quite in a very elegant manner, and in addition, you can see here, we've gone for something called Florentine blocking, which means where you actually block the book on the inside as well as the outside, which I think adds to the dignity and the beauty of this volume. One of the problems that there's been in the past with these missals is that because the book is very heavy in the middle, the block, the actual pages are very heavy, they tend to place a great strain on the end papers, which in many versions which are found in parishes today are actually torn here. So what we've done is we have replaced the paper that's usually the heavy paper, which is usually used for the end papers, with something called skin plast, which is paper backed with a plastic sheet, which is impossible to tear. This should ensure that the book block doesn't ever come away from the case, from the binding itself. You'll notice a few things about the book which are new. We have produced 6 different coloured ribbons, which are in main liturgical colours, and which you'll be able to use as you see fit. One thing that's very special about these ribbons, they've all been made by hand, and they all have what we call these bow tie ends, which are hand sewn and which will ensure that they don't fray as you use them. The other feature of the ribbons is that they go to a smaller ribbon at the top, which is then tucked into the spine, and this will ensure that they don't bunch and they don't damage the paper at the top when you're using your missal. Another feature of this missal, which will be different from missals that you've seen in the past, is the use of colour artwork. Now this is something new that we're doing, and something that was requested by the bishops' conferences, and which we've been very happy to do, and which adds considerably to the beauty and the dignity of the volume. These are going to be printed on high quality art paper and tipped in by hand. A tip-in is a sheet of paper which is put in by hand into the book block. So these are printed separately on the best quality paper with the best quality colour printing processes available, and then are inserted into the book in various different places. So for example, you can see the example here, which is on the opposite of the first Eucharistic prayer, which has, as many traditional missals have, you always have a scene of the crucifixion on the opposite of the beginning of the first Eucharistic prayer. The other pictures will be throughout the text next to various feasts: Pentecost, the Annunciation, the Nativity, and Easter. Another feature that this missal will have, it will be printed on 2 different weights of paper. So the text that you'll be using every day in the order of Mass will be printed on 100 GSM paper. The text that will be used once a year, and the rest of the text at the front in the Proper of Time, at the back in the Proper of Saints and Commons, etc., will be printed on 60 GSM paper. So that gives you a manageable book, because you have to bear in mind that this text is almost 300 or 400 pages longer than the missal that's currently available. What's made it longer is, apart from the new translation, is slightly longer in some of the sentence structure that it uses, but also there's a lot more music throughout the text. Every single preface has been set to its own music, and you'll find a lot of music throughout the text. In addition, one of the features that you'll find in the CTS Missal, which is being produced for England, Wales, Scotland and Australia, is that all the proper parts have been put in their proper place. So you'll find the saints for England and Wales, the saints for Scotland, and the saints for Australia, not in an appendix at the back, but throughout the proper of saints, the dates on which they fall. An additional feature which you'll find in this Missal, as opposed to the one that you may have been using up to now, is that we'll have a lot more tabs. The tabs will run through from there'll be a tab for the beginning of the order of Mass, then tabs for each of the 4 Eucharistic prayers, and the tabs will actually run through the whole of the Eucharistic prayer. So you'll have one tab with gold blocking that will show you where, for example, the first Eucharistic prayer starts, and then you'll be able to use the tabs to turn the pages during the Eucharistic prayer. Then there'll be another tab that can take you to the communion rite, concluding rites, and then any blessing or solemn blessing or prayer over the people that you may use. It'll take you to the beginning of that section, and then using one of the ribbons you can go to the correct blessing for that day. So that's just a summary of what will be available to you for use at the beginning of Advent. Please keep an eye on our blog, ctscatholiccompass.org, and you'll see in future we'll put some, as soon as we get the prototypes through for the chapel edition and the study edition, we'll put some more up. So thanks for being with us today, and I hope you're looking forward to getting your Missal as much as we are. Thank you.